topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good afternoon, Florida. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show, where we bring you the top experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. This is our 16th year of Ask the Experts. I cannot believe we've been doing the show this long, but the show we have now for you is a show that you asked for. This is our Florida market, which is my home state. And I had all these people, listeners, saying, how come you're not doing a show on Medicare? And I found out that we had the greatest Medicare agent in New Jersey who handles Florida. Also, let me welcome you to Stephen Fromm. Good afternoon, Stephen.
Good afternoon, Steve. Thanks again for having me on the show today. We greatly appreciate that opportunity.
Bro, we just looked at I sent them to you, your Florida numbers for YouTube for your first show. I was like blown away. Amazing. Listen, you put on a great show. We've done, I think, several New Jersey shows. You put on a great show because people understand you. We're dealing with older, and I can say that because I'm older, an older demographic. And sometimes you gotta, you just gotta explain it. And you do such a great job. I am so glad that we have you. And I'm gonna stick this in here too. I'm so glad we've got your wife. How about that?
I have nothing to do with that. I just come up with the idea, and Judith runs with it. And lo and behold, we have that. We have sweatshirts. We have hats. Just keeps growing and growing. Got to build the brand.
Did I hear something about you're going to be offering Spanish? Did I hear that right?
That is correct. Once Judith finishes her insurance exam back in January, she's bilingual. So it's one of the things we're looking to open up to the population is help the Spanish community.
Stephen, that is an incredible idea. I mean, it is. And, here in Florida, we have a huge Hispanic population here. Mm-hmm. So it'll be wonderful. Tell people, first of all, about your company and your background.
Sure. Well, again, my name is Stephen Fromm. I am the founder and owner of Fromm Insurance Services. We started everything back in 2018. Made a transition from the mortgage business to the elder care industry, helping seniors. And we've had a great opportunity, as you mentioned, educating seniors about their Medicare benefits, as well as other benefits that they may not be aware of. Everyone has, I'll say, gaps in their insurance. So our job is to educate everyone we speak with, to let them know what they're currently enrolled in, and as well as discuss other insurance options that may be available to them that they may not be aware of. So that is what we do every day.
I got to tell you, I look at it from an outsider. You're putting together this puzzle. First of all, everybody is different. Everybody has different needs, whether it's hospitals, doctors, and you've got to put together not just one, but several plans for them to look at to make a good decision.
Yes, we're very fortunate. We have some great software packages that allow us to do the plan comparisons for each family, reviewing their needs, reviewing their doctors, their medications, to make sure that we properly enroll them in the right plan. We just finished up AEP, which allowed seniors to change a lot of their plans, as well as right now, a lot of folks don't know that we're heading into OEP, which means that someone who's in a Medicare Advantage plan, they could look at from between January 1st and March 31st, they can look at changing their Medicare Advantage plan. Maybe the plan that they chose during AEP is not working for them, and they'd like to change it to a different plan, as well as someone could also enroll back into original Medicare. They would have to enroll in a Part D prescription drug plan, as well as a Medicare supplemental plan, but they may have to go through underwriting if they choose a Medicare supplemental plan if they don't have a special election period. But those are all the things that we cover with every family, because every situation is unique for every person.
I am so surprised because we get so many letters, Stephen, especially on the Medicare Advantage plan. How many companies have pulled out of different counties?
Yep, quite a few insurance carriers stopped offering certain plans, as well as the service areas that they maybe were also offering some plans in. They no longer offer plans in those service areas. So it was a big transition during AEP, making sure that we educated the families properly, letting them know that their plan was not going to be offered anymore. So we make sure we can look at their doctors and their medications and find out what's important to them in each plan. As we know, as we said previously, in Medicare Advantage plans, there's also some ancillary benefits like dental, vision, hearing benefits. So we have to look at everything and discuss with the senior what their needs are.
So we started promoting your show a couple days ago, and the emails, Stephen, that we've received, there's so many people who've started watching your show that aren't 65 yet, and they're either 64 and apparently different birthdays. So what do those people need to do now?
Well, they need to contact us, first of all. And that is a great thing to hear, that people under the age of 65 are reaching out, because we do a lot of our focus right now is a lot of Facebook advertising, as well as we're going to be start doing some videos soon, educating those folks that are turning 65 about their initial election period, which runs 3 months before their birthday, the month of their birthday, and 3 months after. And it's during this period of time that we hopefully help them get enrolled in Social Security with Part A and Part B, and then begin the process of doing analysis to see whether or not enrolling in original Medicare versus a Medicare Advantage plan would be beneficial for them, and as well as letting them know that we want to help them avoid lifelong penalties if they don't enroll during this period of time. A lot of seniors aren't not aware of that. So again, it's a constant educational process for everyone we speak with.
Yes. And so we're just coming out of this open enrollment, the regular Medicare. What were some of the questions that people had?
Oh, there was a lot of questions regarding Part D prescription drugs. A lot of plans had changed regarding, first of all, monthly premiums, as well as how their drugs were being covered on various tiers, or maybe not on the formulary. So there was a lot of work that we had to do to make sure that everyone understood the drugs and how are they going to be paid going forward into 26, because that was changing from 25 to 26. So we always make sure that, someone understands this. And, we do our best to educate everybody as things are going to continuously change with the, I'll say, medical inflation is the word I'll use right now. As that changes, so do the costs associated with Medicare insurance. So it's been a good thing.
So again, I don't want to make this a political show, but a lot of the questions we got were people had seen where the president said he's dealing with a lot of the major drug companies, and we're going to get the preferred price, which means the lowest rate that can possibly be done. When are those rates going to start showing up?
Well, that's a great question. That's still something that is being hashed out right now. Can't say that everything has been completed right now. As you know, things change. So for someone like myself, I'm constantly reading and educating myself, letting my clients know that, hey, this is going to happen for you or may not happen for you. So it's hard for me to answer that whole question, and we will see how things move forward.
Okay. Now we're in the phase of the Advantage Medicare, right?
Yep. As we said, heading into January 1st through March 31st.
So tell people what that is.
So that is again, as I mentioned, that's the Medicare open enrollment period. And someone may have chosen a Medicare Advantage plan during the annual election period. And as they head into the new year, they realize that that plan may not be the best plan for them. So it's an opportunity for someone enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan to make a change for a plan that would be a better fit regarding their doctors and medications. It's also an opportunity for someone that maybe wants to get out of a Medicare Advantage plan and go back to original Medicare, as well as they would need to enroll in the Part D prescription drug plan. And as I mentioned previously, they would, need to enroll in Medicare supplemental plan, and maybe subject to underwriting unless there's some certain circumstances which will allow them a special election period to enroll in a supplemental plan and not have to go through underwriting. But again, we do diligence in everyone we speak with.
What's the difference, Stephen?
What's the difference between original Medicare and Medicare Advantage?
Yes.
It's a great question. So with original Medicare, you're going to have Part A and Part B, which is your hospital and your doctor, and they cover 80% of the cost associated with a medical service. And then you would have your Medicare supplemental plan, and there's 10 different plans that are offered by the various insurance companies. They're all the same plan. And that picks up the remaining 20% of the cost associated with a medical procedure. There is a monthly fee, premium, I should say, that comes with that plan. And one of the things through our software packages, we're able to do a needs analysis to let the family working with how much is that going to cost, as well as they would need to enroll in a Part D prescription drug plan. There is a monthly premium for that plan as well. And as I mentioned, we will get a list of all their drugs to determine what the costs are for all those drugs. Compared to a Medicare Advantage plan is all inclusive. It's your doctors and your hospitals, basically almost combines the Medicare supplemental plan into that plan. As I mentioned, has additional ancillary benefits as dental, vision, and hearing, as well as some other benefits that help a lot of families.
Peter in Boynton Beach, Florida, wants to know what is the difference between an HMO and a PPO?
Sure, it's a great question. An HMO and a PPO, there is a difference. With an HMO, I think you mentioned you're in an HMO.
Yes.
An HMO is a network. It's an in-network. The doctors, the hospitals, they're all in that network. So when you go to a doctor, you have to stay within that network or get a referral to a specialist. It's in that network. With a PPO, it does allow flexibility for you to go outside to see other doctors and specialists compared to just staying in the HMO network that I said, as you are mentioned, you're familiar with how the HMO networks work. So PPO will give you more flexibility.
I have to tell you, Stephen, I love Medicare. I love my HMO. I love my Advantage. I've heard people complain in the past, and mostly about the doctors, but I got to tell you, I have had incredible success with the doctors that are in my plan.
And that's what you want to verify. I do that every day with families and asking about their doctors because they're asking about the insurance carriers. And one of the things, besides me checking on the doctors, I always go a little bit further. And I tell the family I'm working with, hey, listen, let's make sure your doctor is going to work with this plan. So I actually have them call their practice and speak to the billing department and say, hey, let's verify. I'm going to enroll in this new healthcare plan. I want to make sure that you work with this carrier. And that helps me a lot because it's want to double check everything.
Well, I have 3 specialists, and I had no idea who's good and who's not good. So with my HMO plan, I had to go with the doctors in the group. There weren't many. For example, orthopedic, there was only 3. But I got to tell you, the doctors that I have, I have just been incredibly happy with.
That's great. Like I said, it's a lot of work. I mean, you've done your homework. You like your doctors. We do the same thing every day. It's constantly educating the seniors on their plans and their doctors, making them feel comfortable. As I mentioned on other shows, we're all about client for life. We want to build a relationship with that client, not just for this moment, but for life, because things are going to change. And when they do change, we want them to call us and let us know that they've had a status change. And then how can we help you? What changes do we need to make? What other insurance do we need to look at? So that's the importance of building these very deep, strong relationships with every family we speak with.
Stephen, I just got a question here from Palm Beach County. They want to know, how do you know if your insurance company drops out of your county?
Well, that's a great question. It's called an annual notice of change. Seniors would receive in the mail an annual notice of change, letting them know that their carrier was no longer going to be offering the plan in their service area, or maybe just not offering that plan anymore. Unfortunately, a lot of seniors were not aware of that. They didn't check their mail. Sometimes those letters are very nondescript, and they miss that. So, I've had families call me during open enrollment and, to look to check their plan. And I was the first one to let them know that their plan was no longer being offered. I had that situation, a couple of families down in South Carolina, they didn't realize their plans were. So then we had to look at other plans that their doctors were in. That was very important. As someone that becomes a senior, they have certain doctors they want to see. So that we need to make sure that we put their doctors in, that they're going to be in the right plan to be able to see those doctors. They build long relationships with those doctors. They don't want to change their doctors. So, that was an educational, again, as you can hear me say this over and over, it's all about educating. It's all about educating. And that's the difference for us, building those kind of relationships. But yeah, it's a great question.
Here's another great question, Stephen. I just tuned in, found your show. I can't believe, I wish that I could have found it sooner. My question is, how, if you're in New Jersey and I'm in Florida, how do you work that out?
Well, another great question. First of all, being licensed in Florida, I'm licensed in New Jersey, I'm licensed in Florida. I'm actually licensed in 39 other states, which allows us to help a lot of families across the United States. Being licensed in New Jersey, but also being licensed in Florida, again, as I came back and I mentioned, the various software programs that we use allow us to do a needs analysis. And if I don't feel comfortable with the needs analysis from a software program, I will just go to the carrier website to cross-reference everything to make sure what I'm seeing in one platform, I agree with on the other platform. So again, it's always that due diligence to make sure that we're making the right decision for each family and helping them make the right decision.
So if a person is being insured at work, do they still need to sign up for Medicare?
Not necessarily. There are certain rules for employers with more than 20 employees, allowing the person to remain enrolled on their health care coverage with that employer. And down the road, if they want to, end that coverage and enroll in Medicare, we're able to help them. But some people do stay enrolled. Some people do move over to Medicare. So again, it's those deep questions that we ask with our client needs analysis, that we spend like the first 30 minutes with every client, just doing that needs analysis to understand where they are in their life, what they want to get out of our appointment, and what makes the most sense for them.
Here's a great question. What happens if I sign up for Medicare, I choose a doctor, and after 6 months, I do not like the doctor? Do I have to wait a certain period of time to change?
To change doctors or change the plan?
Yes,
To change doctor. No, I mean, again, it's like anything else. Maybe they're not happy with that doctor. Something has changed in their needs. So again, I'm all about client for life. That person would be calling me, and we would do a due diligence with their doctor to find out, hey, which plans do you work with, as well as letting them know that could be the change down the road. But maybe we need to find different doctors in their area that accept their current insurance plan, knowing that for this period of time, this will be the doctor, but during open enrollment, we can look at changing your plan, or maybe they do have in the special election period, which allows them to change their plan. Again, just going back to the needs analysis we do with every family.
Stephen, I know you've discussed this, but I told you, I had a nightmare, my first agent, which was really sad because, I'm expecting them to educate me because I was totally uneducated. And I found out later I had a really lazy agent. He only gave me one plan, and I didn't know I had a choice of plans. And the customer service was horrible. Tell me about how important customer service is to you.
Customer service is everything. I make it a point of trying to answer every call that I receive. I have a lot of seniors who'll call me and they say, "Oh, you answered the phone." I go, "Yeah, that's my job. My job is to answer the phone. My job is to answer the phone and help you. And if I can, I get right back to you." So, our level of customer service, I'm very proud of what we do for our clients. Regarding needs analysis, a couple of situations this morning, when someone calls me, I will always email them a comparison of 2 or 3 different plans so that they can review those plans, and we can go over every single coverage option in those plans so that they can make the educated decision with me. I say really an informed decision, what plan is going to best meet their needs today as well as into the future, but also realize that things do change. And when those things do change, we want to be prepared to choose the right plan for them again.
Stephen, tell people how they can reach you.
Sure. Well, they can reach us by giving me a call at 908-510-3418, or they can go to our website, which is www.fromme.com. And on our website is a contact form that someone could fill out. And as soon as they hit send, it comes right to my database. I know they filled out that form. We contact them immediately. As well as I mentioned to you previously, we just added the podcast to our website. So this way people have missed a show. They can go back and visit our podcast on our website now. We have a very, very interactive website.
Stephen, you're the best. I'm going to see you on Monday. So I'll wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year then. And hey, we're so grateful to have you. We will see you again next month, and I'll see you again on Monday.
Thank you again for the opportunity. You guys have a great day.
You're the best, Stephen. That's Stephen Fromm. I'm telling you, folks, if you're in the Florida area, he is a great Medicare agent. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.